Namaste students, welcome back to my channel. Students, in our previous video, we have studied the shape of the molecules which are surrounded by only and only bond pairs. Today, in this video, we are going to study that how with the help of the hybridization, we can predict the shape of the molecules which are surrounded by both bond pair as well as the lone pair. So without any delay, let's get started. So first we'll start with ammonia. The first example we'll take, that is ammonia. Now in ammonia we'll study the hybridization of the nitrogen. Now nitrogen, if I write the electronic configuration of nitrogen in the ground state, it is S2P3. It is S2 and P3. It is 2S2 and 2P3. And because it is second shell, in second shell we don't have D subshell, so that's why it is 2S and 2P. So in nitrogen, in the ground state, it is 2S2, 2P3. Now in ammonia, we want three half-filled orbitals. And we have three half-filled orbitals. Means there is no excitation of electron. It means the excited state is similar to that of the ground state. So the excited state becomes S2 and P3. Excited state remains same as that of the ground state because we want only three half-filled orbitals, and in the ground state we have three half-filled orbitals. Now during the formation of hybrid state, now we want only these three hybrid orbitals, but without S orbital, hybridization is not possible because the shape of S is symmetrical. That's why S is required in the hybridization. And because of this reason, if you observe the different name of the hybridization, it is SP, SP2, SP3, SP3D, SP3D2, SP3D3. Means without S, the hybridization is not possible. And if you remember the concept of hybridization, the important points of the hybridization, we have discussed that for hybridization, it is always not necessary that only half-filled orbital will participate in hybridization. Sometimes fully filled orbitals will also participate in hybridization. And this is that condition, that it is not necessary that only the half-filled orbital will participate in hybridization. Sometimes the fully filled orbital will also participate in hybridization. So in the hybrid state, these 3p orbital has to be there. These 3p orbital has to be present there because we want three half-filled orbitals, and these are three half-filled orbitals. But without S, the hybridization is not possible. Therefore, this should also be present there. So, how many atomic orbital will combine? 4 atomic orbital will combine, and if 4 atomic orbital will combine, then we get the 4 hybrid orbitals. So, the hybrid orbitals are 4. And the name of these hybrid orbital is sp3. The name is sp3. The name of different hybrid orbitals, hybrid orbital is sp3. Now, if I fill the electrons in these hybrid orbitals, how many electrons I have? 5 electrons. So if I fill 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 like this. Clear? And then when 3 hydrogen will come, they approach to nitrogen and form bond with the nitrogen. And the name of this bond is sp3s sigma bond. sp3 s sigma bond. So the hybridization is sp3, and we have studied that if the hybridization is sp3, the geometry of the molecule is tetrahedral, but it is tetrahedral when the central atom is surrounded by only and only bond pair. But in this, the nitrogen is surrounded by 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. And due to the presence of this lone pair, the geometry becomes irregular and the shape becomes pyramidal. So the shape is like this: hydrogen with a lone pair, and its bond angle is less than 109.5 degree. So with the help of this hybridization concept, we get to know that the nitrogen is surrounded by 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. S is always required in the hybridization. Let us take another example. H2O. Now, obviously, oxygen is the central atom, so we'll see the hybridization of the oxygen. So, if I write the ground state configuration of oxygen, it is 2s2, 2p4. It is 2s2, 2p4. Now, how many half-filled orbitals we have in oxygen? 2 half-filled orbitals we have in oxygen. And how many half-filled orbitals we want to make H2O? 2, because only 2 hydrogen are approaching to oxygen. So if 2 hydrogen are approaching to oxygen, then only 2 half-filled orbitals we want. And if only 2 half-filled orbitals we want, then what happens? If we take these 2, then we have to take S. And without taking this, we can't take these 2. Why? Because these are degenerate orbitals. So when we take this, then only we get these 2. Clear? First 2 p orbitals we can't take, because the first p orbital in this is fully filled. Because of the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, first p orbital is always fully filled. So if you take px, py, then px is fully filled. If you take py, pz, then out of py and pz, one should be fully filled. It means we have to take these 2 also along with these 2. Without S, hybridization is not possible, and without this, we don't get the 2 orbitals with half-filled orbital. So, half-filled electron. So, we have to take these 2 also. But because we want only 2 half-filled orbitals, therefore the excited state remains same as that of the ground state. So, in the excited state, the configuration is same. That is S2 and P4. Excited state remains same as that of the ground state. It doesn't mean that in these compounds the energy is not released during the time of the bond formation. Energy is released during the time of the bond formation, but because there is no requirement of the jumping of electron, that's why there is no difference in the excitation and the ground state. Clear? Now, in the hybrid state, all these 4 orbitals will combine to form 4 hybrid orbitals. And the name of these 4 hybrid orbitals, sp3. And if I fill the electron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Means out of these 4 hybrid orbitals, 2 hybrid orbitals are fully filled and 2 hybrid orbitals are half filled. The 2 hybrid orbitals which are half filled, with them hydrogen combines to form sp3s sigma bond. sp3s sigma bond. And because the hybridization is sp3, the regular geometry should be tetrahedral. But because the central atom is surrounded by 2 lone pair and 2 bond pair, Then we have studied in VSCPR that if the central atom is surrounded by two lone pair and the two bond pair, the shape we get is bent shape or V shape. The shape we get is bent shape or V shape. So it is like this: oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen, lone pair and lone. Clear? So in this way we can we can find out the shapes of the molecules which are surrounded by both bond pair as well as the lone pair with the help of the hybridization. Let us take some more examples. Third is SF4. SF4. So I'll take I'll study the hybridization of sulfur. Now sulfur belongs to oxygen family. So the hybridization of sulfur in the ground state. The hybridization of sulfur in the ground state is 3s2, 3p4, 3s2, 3p4 and 3d0. 3d0. Clear? In the ground state, the hybridization of sulfur is 3s2, 3p4 and 3d0. Now, how many half-filled orbital I want? 4 half-filled orbital. Now, in sulfur, I have only 2 half-filled orbital. So, at the time of the bond formation, one of the electron from P will jump to D. So, we get the configuration like this. In the excited state, it is S2, 3s2, 3p3 and 3d1. 3d1. Because we want 4 half-filled orbitals. Now I get 4 half-filled orbitals, so there is no need to jump this electron. So this electron remains same, but without S, hybridization is not possible. So S has to be there in the hybridization and these 4 has to be there in the hybridization. So the hybridization or the hybrid orbital formation is result in the mixing of these 5 orbitals. So in the hybrid state we get hybrid state 5 hybrid orbitals, because these hybrid orbitals are obtained as a result of the intermixing of these atomic orbitals. 5 atomic orbitals to combines to form 5 hybrid orbitals. 5 hybrid orbitals, and the name of these hybrid orbitals are sp3d. And if I fill the electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 electrons are there, so I'll fill like this. And the unhybridized d orbitals are here. Now, the fluorine will approach to sulfur and form bond with these hybrid orbitals. These hybrid orbitals to form sp3p sigma bond. How I am writing the name of the bond, I hope it is clear to you if you have watched my previous video. Then now sp3d hybridization. It means the geometry should be triangular, pyramidal, triangular bipyramidal, trigonal bipyramidal. But here the central atom is surrounded by 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair. So the geometry becomes irregular. Now, in our previous video, we have studied that in trigonal bipyramidal, all the bond angles are not equal. All the bond length are not equal due to the difference in the bond angle. Now, suppose SF4 is there, S, F, 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 4. It is possible that 1 lone pair will occupy this position and the 4 fluorine will occupy the other position. Or it may also possible that fluorine, fluorine, fluorine or fluorine. instead of occupying the axial position, the lone pair will occupy the equatorial position. These two conditions are possible. Now, what is the difference in these two? If I see this structure, when the lone pair is occupying the axial position, then the bond angle here is 120 degree and the bond angle between them is 90 degree. Now we know that greater the bond angle, lesser is the repulsion. It means if the bond angle is 120 degree or 180 degree, we consider the repulsion as a negligible factor. If the bond angle is 120 degree or 180 degree. So in this case, if I talk about the different repulsions, then if this lone pair is here, then this repel with this repel with this, and this repel with this. Means 3 fluorine are present as a triangle and the lone pair is present here. So this lone pair is repelled by these 3 fluorine which are present in a triangle, because the angle between this and these 3 is 90 degree. So there is a repulsion between these 3. If there is a repulsion between these 3, we have 3 lone pair bond pair repulsion. We have 3 lone pair bond pair repulsion. We have 3 lone pair bond pair repulsion, and in this we have 2 lone pair bond pair repulsion. We have 2 lone pair bond pair repulsion. Why we have 2 lone pair bond pair repulsion? Because in this lone pair is repelled by either this fluorine or this fluorine, because these two are present at 90 degree. But these two are not present at 90 degree. These two are present and at an angle which is greater than the 90 degree. So their repulsion we can neglect, but these two repulsion we can't neglect. So here we have 2 lone pair bond pair repulsion. Here we have 3 lone pair bond pair repulsion. And we know that greater the repulsion, lesser is the stability, or lesser the repulsion, more is the stability. So out of these two structure, which one is more stable? This one is more stable. That's why the lone pair will occupy the equatorial position and will not occupy the axial position. So the shape of SF4 is this, and it is known as seesaw. It is known as seesaw. It is known as seesaw. I hope this is clear to you, that why the lone pair occupy the equatorial position and why it will not occupy the axial position. Fourth is ClF3. ClF3. So first of all, I write the electronic configuration of chlorine, that is 3s2 3p5. 3s2 3p5 and 3d0. 3s2 3p5 and 3d0. Now how many half-filled orbital I have in chlorine? 1. And how many half-filled orbital I want? 3. So this is the ground state configuration. So one of the electron will jump from p to d, and as soon as one of the electron will jump from p to d, I get 3 half-filled orbitals. So in excited state, the configuration becomes s2 p 4 and d1. D1. Clear? Now I have 3 half-filled orbitals. Now without S I can't take these half-filled orbital, and without this p I can't take these 2p. So I have to take these 2 along with these 3. So in the hybrid state I have 5 hybrid orbitals. I have 5 hybrid orbitals, and out of these 5 hybrid orbitals, 2 are fully filled. 2 are fully filled, and here the unhybridized d orbitals. Now with these 3, the fluorine will combine to form sp3d p sigma bond. P sigma bond, because this is sp3d hybridization. Now if we talk about shape, again sp3d means trigonal, bipyramidal, difference in bond angle. Due to the difference in bond angle, there is a difference in bond length. Now if I talk about the position of these two lone pairs, if I talk about the position of these two lone pairs, here Cl, F, 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 one lone pair, another lone pair. This is first situation, that both the lone pair are present in the equatorial plane. Second situation is like this, that one lone pair is in the equatorial position and second lone pair is in axial position. Third condition is like this, like this. Clear? Now if I write the lone pair bond pair repulsion here, the lone pair bond pair repulsion here, so this lone pair is repelled by this as well as this, because the bond angle between this and this is 90 degree. The structure is clear to you, na? These three triangles are present in the plane, and the above and below, that is above and below. So this lone pair, this lone pair, this lone pair, this lone pair, this lone pair is repelled by this as well as this. Similarly, this lone pair is repelled by this as well as this. So the lone pair bond pair repulsion, if we talk about lone pair bond pair repulsion, that is 4. In this lone pair bond pair repulsion is 4. Now if I talk about this, in this is repelled by only this, because these two are present at 120 degree, and this is repelled by these two. It means lone pair bond pair repulsion are 3. Lone pair bond pair repulsion are 3. In this is repelled by these 3 and this one is repelled by these 3. So the lone pair bond pair repulsion is 6. Lone pair bond pair repulsion is 6. Now this is wrong, because in this we get 6 lone pair bond pair repulsion and it is highly unstable. Now out of these two, this should be structure. But if I count here bond pair repulsion, if I count bond pair repulsion, then I have 2 bond pair repulsion. Here I have 2 bond pair repulsion. And if I count here bond pair repulsion, here I get 1, means this is repelled by this as well as this one. This is repelled by this as well as this one, that is 2. Now if I count here lone pair repulsion, here the lone pair repulsion is 0. Lone pair repulsion is 0. And here I got 1 lone pair repulsion. And we have studied that the lone pair repulsion is maximum. And if we have lone pair repulsion, then the repulsion is maximum, and if repulsion is maximum, then stability is minimum. So due to the presence of this lone pair repulsion, this is less stable than this. So the correct structure is this. So So in this way, we get to know that why the electron are removed from the bonds are removed from the equatorial position and not from the axial position. Next is XCF4. So I'll write the ground state configuration of Xc. Now the ground state configuration of Xc is 5s2, 5s2, 5p6, 5p6 and 5d0. 5d0. Now I want 4 half-filled orbital. So in the excited state, 2 of the electron. So in the excited state, 2 of the electron from P, 2 of the electron from P will jump to D. So I get the configuration 5s2, 5p4, 5d2, and these four will participate in hybridization, but without S they will not participate in hybridization, and without this p these two p will not participate in hybridization. So in the hybrid state we get how many hybrid orbitals? We get total 6 hybrid orbitals. We get total 6 hybrid orbitals, in which we have how many electrons? We have total 8 electrons. Now with these 8 electrons, 4 fluorine form bond with these 4 orbitals, and the name of this bond is sp3d2 p sigma bond. sp3d2 p sigma bond. Now if sp3d2 hybridization is there, the shape should be square bipyramidal, but due to the presence of these two lone pair, it is square planar. So the shape is xe f f f f. There is a square here, one lone pair, and here the another lone pair. So it is square planar. So in this way you can find out the shapes of different molecules which are surrounded by both bond pair as well as the lone pair. So students, that's all for today. I hope now you can able to find out the hybridization of any molecule, or with the help of hybridization you can find out the shape of any molecule. So I'll see you in my next video with a new topic.